Sometimes it can be very tricky to be creative across a wide variety of areas. And it's often because you're asked to be creative too quickly. There are deadlines, there are pressures, something like that. So for me, the magic is in adding creativity into your daily life so that when the time comes, you're ready for it. So if you want to be a really good ideas person, you're going to have to make some lifestyle changes. And so this is when I have to experiment a little bit. And what I'd like to suggest that you do is to start thinking about how you can make lifestyle changes that are going to enable you to be more creative. And I'd love to hear in the comments of anything that comes to mind, anything that you want to do. Now, I'll share with you my secrets. One of the things that I love to do is to get influence from other areas. I'm very aware that now we're in sort of a filter bubble. For example, I don't watch regular TV anymore. I like to watch Netflix, and Netflix is great, but it recommends the kinds of shows that I like. So it only ever shows me shows that I like. So I keep on watching the same kind of shows. And this is the same for most people. You listen to the same kind of music, you read the same kind of newspapers, you go to the same kind of places. And yet you get all that same input, but sometimes we expect different ideas to come out. So what is a really cool thing to do is to try to find things that you are not the target audience for and grab them, pick them up and take a look and see what inspires you. I love it when I travel to other countries and I pick up books that I can't read and just try to figure out what they're all about, or magazines or postcards or things that I don't quite understand. I love to go to the big magazine shop down by the train station and buy all kinds of different magazines that I'm not the target audience for, because then I get to learn about these whole other worlds that I would normally never have any interest in, and there might be something there that sparks a little bit of creativity because I'm getting new input. I love to meet new people that I've never met before, and I love to have interesting conversations. This is one of the reasons why I love traveling alone, because then you're forced to meet new people and get new inputs. You don't have to like the new people, you don't have to agree with them. In fact, the more that you're challenged by their variety and difference of opinion, the better. So that's something that I really enjoy. So look around in your group of friends and see if there's any new friends that you could possibly meet. Are there any new places that you could go? Are there any new experiences? Now, I'll be honest, this takes you way outside your comfort zone. It takes you a mile outside of your comfort zone. But it can be really wonderful if you're just going for a new experience. And I've tried all kinds of weird and wonderful things. One of the things that I did, and I'll tell you, I'll be honest, because I never expected this, but I was interviewing a woman who was an expert in laughter yoga. And I'd never even heard of laughter yoga before. And I said, well, where can I learn more about it? Thinking that she would send me a link to a book or a website or something. And she said, oh, you can come and join my class. It's tomorrow night. And I said, but I have a date with my girlfriend tomorrow night. Oh, it's fine, bring her too. So there I am with my girlfriend on a date at laughter yoga. I'd never done anything like this before. It was so crazy and so out of my comfort zone. And I'll be honest, the first half an hour was pretty weird. But after a while, I started to get it. I started to understand it. And I started to enjoy something that I would never in a million years think that I would enjoy. I mean, look at me. Do I look like the kind of guy who would sign up for a yoga class at last minute? No way. So it's okay to see the weird stuff and see the uncomfortable stuff and the unusual stuff. One of the things that I love the most about working with TEDx and TEDx Audiencer and all of the brilliant speakers that we have is that it means that in one day I can be talking to a pole dancer, and then the next minute I'm talking to an artist who works with refugees, and the next minute I'm talking to a motivational speaker, and the next minute to an astronaut. And I think that this is really powerful because then you can get so many new inputs and influences in your life. So look at the media that you consume and say, how can I make this a bit weirder? How can I be into something that I would never normally be into? How can I connect with new people that I would never normally connect with? And there's so much stuff out there. It's so easy to find. So this is your homework task. After watching this, figure out, what are you going to do? Have you got a TV show that you would never normally watch that you can watch? Have you got a book that you would never normally read that you can check out? And if you really want to get out of your filter bubble, one of the things I love to do is, if I have a favorite book, I'd go to the library with the Dewey Decimal System and I would check out not my favorite book, but the book to the left and the book to the right, because maybe I would never normally check out those two books. Maybe they're not quite linked with my interest, but they're kind of related, so I might get a little bit of something new. And maybe those books will lead me to more books or more media or more experiences or whatever it is. And one day you'll find yourself in strange situations. You'll find yourself in juggling conventions, or you'll find yourself underground at the CERN Super Hadron Collider, or you'll find yourself at the Jet Propulsion Lab at NASA, or some weird place that you would never normally go in a million years. And you'll find something incredible, and it will help you to trigger your imagination. This does take a long time, but it is about building a life. It's not just about having ideas.